Topic of discussion today is Anthony Joshua versus Parker. The press conference was today, and there's a lot of Kiwis out there that are gassed. They're so gassed about this guy. I mean, I got one boy, his name's Zach Alexander. I know he's going to be watching, and this guy's been saying for me from time that that Parker is the real deal. He's going to bang Anthony Joshua, this, that, rare. And for me, I think deep down, these Kiwis know that this guy's going to get banged, but obviously they've got that Kiwi blood in them, so they want to support him all the way. But for me, personally, I mean, Parker has fought Fury, went 12 rounds with him, and he thinks that he's ready for AJ. There's levels to this shit. You can't go 12 rounds and then it wasn't even, one-sided. People, the Furies thought they won it. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's levels to this shit. So it's the same as when we backed Hatton. Yeah? It was the whole nation going behind Hatton. Didn't even really know, half the people didn't even know who Mayweather was. Like, who's Mayweather? What? Hatton's going to fucking knock him out. Hatton's going to do this. Hatton's going to do that. What happened? He got smashed. Like I said, I think back your fighter. Fair play. But for me, like I said, there's levels. And the same with things happened to Hatton. We was there going, there's only warrior. Do you know what I mean? What happened with that? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's levels to this. No disrespect to Parker whatsoever. I think he earns his right to be here. He has a world belt. And he's a true professional. The way he carries himself, none of this dumb shit like Americans do, yeah? Like chatting gas and then getting clarted in the first round and then buying Bentleys as soon as they get back to the US, like your boy. What was his name? Martin. Martin. So, I mean, that's my take on it. I mean, what's your take on the fight? And do you think Park actually stands a chance?
No. Next question. No, I'm joking. No, I think I think Joshua's obviously he's the big catch. He's the big fish in this fight. Again, no disrespect to any New Zealanders watching it. Parker's done what he had to do. He's got himself a belt and he's got himself a payday. I can't see this being much different. I think he'll put up more of a fight than what Charles Martin did.
Definitely.
But I don't think that this if he wasn't a world champion, this fight wouldn't be getting made. That's the way I look at it. If you look at, let's say, Tyson Fury, he's not a world champion. This fight still gets made because he's a household name and he's that good, and he is that good. If you look at,
have you seen the state of your boy Tyson Fury, bro?
I'm looking at the state of you, bro. But you're still talking like you know something about boxing. You get me? So
look at this guy. What do you see, bro? We see when he comes back.
But I think, but going back to this fight, don't want to digress. I think it's a bit. I think it's going to be one-sided. I think it'll be, fair play to Parker. Pick up your money, pick up your check. But I don't see it going. I don't see it going a distance. And I think it's going to be an AJ win.
I mean, I keep saying there's levels to this shit. I mean, do you think Parker beats White?
No, again, as I just said a second ago, do I think that this fight gets made if he's not a champion? I don't think it does. I don't even think if he wasn't a world champion, I don't think he'd get in the ring with Dillian Whyte. I think Dillian Whyte would be like, no, I want a bigger name. I want a bigger name. Now, obviously, it's slightly different because he's had the belt. But I just don't think he's the, I don't think he beats Dillian Whyte. I think there's another guy on Joshua's record that I don't think he beats. I don't think he gets past Brazil. I think Dominic Brazil probably.
Good fighter.
But, he's rangy. He can bang. He proved that he can. I know if this is a good thing, but he proved he can take a beating. In his last fight, he was taking a battering, and then he knocked this guy out with a big shot. So, someone like that, I'd like to see him fight. I don't think he gets through him. So, I don't think that Parker's quite ready for this fight, and I think it's going to be a one-sided affair. I
mean, one thing that Parker mentioned in the press conference was he feels that he's got better speed, he's got better movement, and he's got a better jaw. Now, for me, is why is it that Parker can't win this fight for you? For me, is I don't think he's got the power. I mean, do you know a guy called Razvan Korjanoglu? Have you heard of him?
I know Parker fought him, but I don't know anything about him.
There's a Romanian fighter, and he went 12 rounds with him, and he couldn't even move the guy. The guy was laughing at Parker.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if Joshua fought this guy, it'd be lights out. As far as I'm concerned, this guy's lost 3 fights with him, and no one knows who this guy is. So for me, like I said, there's levels to this shit, and he's earned his right to be here. But for me, I don't think he's got the power, the natural power, to actually take on Joshua. And I think when he gets hit, that's when he's going to know.
But I also feel that, and again, I'd put this out to the Parker fans out there. I think that I think the Parker camp almost know that this is a time to maximise that opportunity. They're in the shop window now, and it's now or never, because technically you could probably say make some more defences of that title, go and make a big defence of that title. But I think he knows that he's kind of the stepping stone between Wilder and Joshua, and that's the fight everyone wants to see. So I think he knows he's in the shop window. His team know that.
Yeah. You can't blame him.
Yeah, that moron promoter that he's got, he knows that. And I do think that promoter is a very odd guy, but listen, I guess you got to look at the Benjamins, and he's brought the paper to the table. He's got his fight at a very good deal, and he's got that payday.
Back to the point though, do you reckon the speed of movement? Do you reckon, like, obviously slightly smaller fighter?
Yeah, he's obviously, and I said I'm not going to say that I've watched all his career. I haven't. I've watched I guess the last 5 or 6 fights, and from what you can see, he's a come forward fighter. He likes to trade, so he's not the sort of person that's he's not going to counter punch very well. He's not going to slip shots, and he's going to stand in front of you and trade. You're going to look to trade. We've seen what happens.
He's a good boxer. I mean, I don't take that away from him. I mean, he's a clever fighter, and he's a smart fighter. So I reckon he will. I mean, he's not going to just go there, go full throttle, because he knows he's going to get banged. Yeah,
but he knows. But he also knows you can't learn something you can't learn something at this stage of your career. You're not going to be able to pick up something at this stage of your career. So I think he's got good movement, and you have to have that movement when you're standing up and trying to trade. But do I think he has the championship rounds and those experience to take on someone like Joshua? I don't think he does. His fans will probably argue, has Joshua had that? Well, I guess the litmus test was Klitschko, and he won. So I think, I just don't see Parker has. I know he's got some movement. I know he has got good feet, and I know he can take a shot. But can he take a shot from someone like Joshua? Has he taken a shot from someone like Joshua? Has he been in the rounds that Joshua has been in? I don't think he has. So no, I don't think every fighter has attributes. Yeah. But I just don't think he's as good enough to beat Josh.
Going back to your boy Higgins, yeah, he actually dropped in there that he thinks Josh has got a glass jaw. Now, is this guy, like, even Eddie Hearn had to jump in at this point and say, mate, settle down, because you're chatting shit right now. Because at the end of the day, we ain't talking about Amir Khan right now. Do you know what I mean? This guy got hit, got back up, and proved that he's a world champion. That's what, for me, proves you're a world champion. Just because Parker, I don't think he's ever been down. That doesn't mean just because he's ever been down, like, he might get down and go to sleep, and that's it for him. Do you know what I'm saying? So, do you reckon that's just bullshit from the promoter trying to hype the fight? Because Parker's, like I said,
you got to make the noise, and he's made the noise, got the fight. So, listen, I think he knows in his heart of hearts that the glass jaw thing was just, I guess it's one of those just to sort of like scratch the surface. Do I get a bite? And he did get a bite. So that's it. That's what you do, don't you? I mean, even in our day jobs, we know that you sometimes have to look to get a bite, and when you've got the bite, you maximise on that. So that's what he's done. I don't think he, in his heart of heart, believes it. Yeah. So, yeah.
But Joshua biting?
Yeah. Do you know
what you want to see?
I've said this before.
Yeah.
I want to see him. I want to see Joshua. I want to see Josh just go a bit Watty on man. You know what I mean? Go a little bit naughty Watford on man and say, listen, you know what I mean?
Go Watty.
This is how like, yo, shut him up. Just do something a bit different. Do you know what I mean? I think we know he's got it in there. We know he has got that sort of like street side to him, and I think sometimes it'll be good to see that side. And I think the reason I say that is because you don't know who's watching. Now you can see he's only motivated by big fights.
But hold on, I'm going to cut you off there, because you know what? For me, Joshua, he doesn't need to do that. This guy has proven that he can sell out fights with his fists. He don't need to jump around, throw around tables, act like clowns to sell a fight. Do you know what I'm saying? He's boxing. He's trying to say it's a serious sport. He's trying to take it seriously, and I don't think he's promoting in the right way. Like I said, he sells out this fight. He gets all the interest. Everyone knows who Joshua is, and for me, he doesn't need to go down that route. So
let me put it this way, right? From this press conference, all I've seen from Joshua to Parker is, no, you're the best. No, you're the best. No, you punch really hard. No, you punch really hard. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, you know what I mean? We're here to scrap. You know what I mean? So, no, whoa, I want this. You get me? So I want to see something like that. That's what I want to see. And at the moment, I just don't see that. And I think if it was someone like my main G, my guy, Gypsy King, salute. If he was at the other side of that table, he would have ate Joshua up in that press conference, because he would have said, you know what, this guy's, he's got nothing for me. He's not giving me nothing. So that's why I think that he needs to have that little bit of ruthlessness.
But for me, when you got someone like Fury, or you got someone like Wilder, they're gonna chat shit. So when you've got one of the dudes chatting shit for you, you don't really need to say it. For me, Joshua needs to just be himself and just go out in the ring, do his business, and prove why he's the world champion. Do you know what I'm trying to say? When you got someone like that, the fight's already getting hyped because the guy there is chatting this shit.
That's fine. But
Look, David Hay, he chatted shit, went way overboard. Look where his career ended up. He starts saying off key shit, and he didn't back it in the ring. Do you know what I'm saying? So you sort of, you put yourself out there.
The flip side to that would be this: David Hayes fights are never industry fights. They are events. People watch. Don't get me wrong. What channel he fights on? I know he's been fighting on Dave or whatever. People will watch his fights because he's David Hay. Because he knows how to sell it and promote himself. At the moment, and I don't think it will be, but this fight, Parker versus Joshua, should not be an industry fight. It should be. Joshua should be such a household name because he does have a ruthless side to him. He does say the odd thing that's probably not right. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing gets you away from being just an industry fight to being a household fight. Now, a prime example of that would be Canelo versus Triple G. All this industry guys, everyone that watches boxing, all us people that love fans, they're like watching that fight. But people like Mayweather and McGregor, they sold the event. They sold the event and they sold that to everybody. People who you walk down the street with, are you going to watch that fight later? Yeah, I probably will. You watched it. I'm sure you watched it. I watched it. Do you know what I mean? So you want to, if you give a little bit of personality and you give a little bit of needle to a fight, and someone like Joshua who's really got the platform, give a little bit of needle. You start appealing to the masses because they start thinking, do you know what? These two have actually got a bit of needle. That's the way I see it. Anyway.
So would you say that Joshua is not a household name for you? I reckon you probably is. If you go and ask someone, they'll know who this guy is.
I think
it's either chicks fancying him. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be boxing. So, and you know what I mean? And there's like
a lot of rumours about chicks fancying him. You get me?
Do you know what I mean? So I think he's out there. I would say he's a household name, but I get your point. Is from Canelo and Triple G and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, there's a while yet to the fight, and we'll put out some more videos before that. I mean, let us know your thoughts on our opinions. Do you think Parker actually stands a chance in this fight? And I want to hear back from these Kiwis who actually gassed by this guy. I mean, like I said, Parker, enough respect, but I just don't think he's got enough in his locker to take on.
My question to the Parker fans would be, how do you guys see him winning this fight? How would you see him to approach this fight, knowing probably Parker better than most people would do? If you've watched a lot of his fights, where do you see it going? Because from what I see, he's going to try and trade with him. Yo.
It's a wrap. Anyways,
peace out.